What's up guys, JT here for delicatebeats.com, and today I'm going to give you some tips on how to properly build your online beat selling business. Let's go.
delicatebeats.com.
So a while back I got a few questions by email from a broducer named Robert White. By the way, if you want to give him a few likes on his SoundCloud, I'm going to put the link in the description below. And without further ado, let's jump into the question. Question number one. So if I lease a beat or several, how do I keep track of songs artists upload? In this digital age, it's fairly complicated to monitor every usage of your beats. What I would suggest to do if you're just starting out is put together two license agreements, one for non-exclusive or what we call leases, and one for exclusive beat sales. That way you can simplify the process where leases are, for example, restricted to a smaller audience, say for example 5,000 copies of his or her Fire mixtape sales. And on the other hand, you'll have the exclusive beat sale where you can introduce in the contract. By the way, license agreements are literally contracts, so you should get them written by a lawyer who has a little bit of experience in copyright management. So in this license agreement, you want to make sure that proper PRO declaration are made when buying and using the beat. So what does that mean? A PRO is a publishing rights organization, and they basically monitor the use of your creative works and compensate you accordingly. So every time you make a beat sale, which is exclusive, and the song is used on an album, you are entitled to half the publishing points. Usually the standard is half for composition and half for songwriting, all right? And if the song is put out by a label or a publisher, then usually what's going to happen is the publisher is going to take half, 50%, and the songwriter is left with 25% and the composer 25%. So this is usually how it works. Sometimes it's different if there are, for example, many publishers. But I doubt that right now you are in big Rihanna publishing songwriting camps. All right. So with that being said, just make sure that the artist understand the license agreement, and as soon as you make an exclusive beat sale, just write a quick email to the artist, saying, well, I hope that you make a fire song to the beat. I really look forward to it. And by the way, make sure that you write my name, full name, and then this is my PRO member number. So when you register the track, you make sure that I get my publishing points. All right. So question number two is more of part two of question number one, but so in case they sell 10,000 copies, I'm not cut out of any of my royalties. Like I said, for beat leases, it's trickier because you have a lot more volume, and it's going to be very difficult to track because most of these artists are virtually unknown, and they're trying to build their brand, but they're not going to get their songs on the radio. So therefore, there's no point in really enforcing the whole rights management thing on them. I would focus more on the exclusive beat sales. And if that's the case, again, if they agree to the license agreement, make sure that you get proper production credits. This is usually very useful to track yourself on Google, YouTube, and so on and so forth. And then just, follow up with the artists. And if the song doesn't appear on your PRO catalog, then something might be up, or they just haven't released a song yet. Don't be paranoid with these things because you want to keep strong relationships with these artists, but just follow up and make sure that eventually your song will appear in your catalog because it's going to be linked to your name and your member number. Part three of question one is, or do you not worry about leasing royalties and just focus on that for exclusive rights? I would say yes, all right, because you're going to sell a whole lot more of these leases, but these songs will not get on on TV and on the radio, and so you will not really get money from publishing on these songs. All right. Next question. If you do keep track through BMI or ASCAP or another PRO, BMI and ASCAP are the acronyms for the two main US PROs. I myself am Canadian. I'm with SOCAN. So just make sure, do your homework and make sure that you know and become a member of the main PRO in your country. It's always a great first business move. I remember when I first started out, I had a top 5 radio hit at one point, and I was not a member of the PRO, and the artist who had quite a bit more experience told me, like, what's your member number? And I didn't know what he was talking about. And long story short, I left a few $1,000s on the table, which were mine and mine only. And because I registered too late, I didn't recoup all of the money. So be very careful. And as soon as you start selling beats online, make sure you are a member of your PRO. So back to the question, should you get their info first before delivering the music to them? I would say no, because the first focus you should have is to make that sale, all right? The upfront money from the beat sale is what keeps you going, pays the bills, allows you to get more gear, etc., etc. So you don't want to compromise the relationship with the artist by already jumping, on the license agreement things and on the contracts and scare them away. All right, so make that beat sale and then just send a courteous email asking, do you have a publisher? Do you have a label that's going to register the song once it's out? And I would just go about that smoothly, because anyways, if they never release the track, you still have your money from the beat sale, and nobody's hurt by it just not releasing the song, right? So I would say after. And finally, last question, do you just put a disclaimer saying you get a certain percentage automatically? I would say again, yes. It's always good to protect yourself legally on your website and giving every detail on the agreement possible on the website to the artists. And the more times change, the more artists are very business savvy, so they'll understand what you're asking for and they'll respect that, all right? And if they don't, well, maybe you don't want to build a relationship with these guys, all right? So these were all of the questions. I mean, if you want to go more in depth, you can read the blog post. I'll put a link in the description on my website, delicatebeats.com. I just wanted you today to start thinking about these things if you're serious about building a business, all right? Because especially for the publishing and PRO side of things, you really don't want to leave money on the table. You want to make these beat sales online, but you also want to recoup the back-end money from the publishing, all right? Because once songs get strong streams and plays on YouTube, Spotify, or even get on the radio, then it's a lot more money coming your way, all right? So protect yourselves and be business savvy. If you read my book, The Bedroom Super Producer, I'm very, very adamant about becoming a business person, not just a creative, all right? And just one last note about pricing, all right? Because in this beat leasing world, I see a lot of people undervaluing their work and their brand, all right? So I would say if you're starting out, giving deals such as 5 beats for $10 is fine, okay? There's no wrong way to price your work. All I'm saying is, first of all, build a pricing strategy. For example, if you're starting out, you shouldn't really be going lower than $20 for a lease, and you should probably price your exclusive anywhere between 5 times and 10 times the price of the lease. All right, so maybe anywhere between $100 and $200 for an exclusive is a great price point and something that's really manageable for unsigned independent artists. And you have to understand that a beat will take a long time to make. So if you're valuing your worth anywhere between, I'd say $40-$50 an hour to, all the way up to $100-$200, whatever your level of experience is, well, a beat will probably be worth even more than $100, right? Because of the time you put in and the expertise and everything else. So when you sell an exclusive, you're saying bye-bye to that beat. So make sure that you're comfortable with the price. And to that point, I would say just pick one price point for leases and one price point for exclusives. I often see online exclusives being sold anywhere between $150 and $650 on one guy's website. And you're like, well, why would I buy the $150 throwaway if I can get the hit that's roughly $650 right next to it, right? And first of all, you don't know what the artist's gonna like, and it kind of sends the message that, well, these beats are my old beats, they're not as good, and these beats are newer, they're cooler, and I don't really know, what price should I charge for that. So just start with one, like the license agreement, one price for the leases, one price for the exclusives. And then once you gain more experience and the beats get better, maybe you can move all the way up to, I don't know, $50 for a lease and $500 to $1,000 for exclusives. And that way you don't get shortchanged. You build a strong business. And you show that you are confident in your expertise as a beat maker / producer / creative / artist. All right. So if I didn't answer all of your questions, use the comments below. Let's get the discussion going. And if you like the information, give me a little thumbs up. I mean, it goes a long way. I want this video to help as many producers as possible, obviously. And subscribe to my channel. And today's Friday. So on this note, I wish you a very productive, creative, inspired weekend. All right, guys. JT for delicatebeats.com signing out.